Phil McGraw tries to be calm and an understanding man, but even he has his limits. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Dr. Phil lost it on his guests.
Are you kidding me?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at times when Dr. Phil became impatient, frustrated, or downright mad at his talk show guests for their behavior. This can include kicking them off the show, insulting them, or getting into heated arguments.
Hey. No, you need to look at me.
Number 10, did you go to 5th grade? Everyone remembers Danielle Bergoli, aka Cash Me Outside Girl.
I'm finna be sliding, you mean? That's what makes me want to take the next bitch car.
What now? I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Are you speaking English?
She went viral thanks to her rebellious behavior, weird phrases, and fake street accent. But Phil wasn't having any of it. After Danielle gives a smart alecky, poor grammar-filled remark about stealing a car, Phil stares in disbelief before asking her if she went to the 5th grade.
Did you go to the 5th grade?
This results in shocked gasps from the audience, who proceed to clap while Danielle marinates in the burn. It's not easy to get the otherwise calm and collected Dr. Phil to insult you in front of hundreds of people, but Danielle managed to find a way.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Number 9, you, sir, have a black heart. This is a bit of a dark episode. Pamela claims that her ex-husband Pete ran out on their family to be with a massage therapist he met at a couple's retreat. She also blames him for their 15-year-old son's suicide.
Because I think you have said some things here today that are absolutely reckless.
Pete, in turn, says that Pamela wanted their son dead. It all culminates in a fiery and destructive 3-minute speech from Phil. The host absolutely tears into Pete by calling him reckless and destructive before telling him that he has a black heart.
I pray to God that you don't mean them, because if you do, you, sir, have a black heart.
Of course, everything is said in that calm Dr. Phil cadence, but you can tell that he is just seething inside. He's not often one to judge people, but he is doing a whole lot of judging here.
Putting out other people's candles does not make yours burn brighter.
Number 8, get a job. This kid is so spoiled rotten that Phil resorts to raising his voice. Now that's an accomplishment.
Now you say you watch me and you take notes. Well, take this note.
Okay.
In this episode, an aspiring singer, self-named King Keith Franklin VII, believes that becoming famous is more important than a job or an education. As such, the 20-year-old lounges around his mother's house hoping to achieve that goal. Unfortunately, his mother isn't having any of it, and neither is Dr. Phil. The host tears into him by ordering him to pull his own weight and contribute around the house before straight up telling him to get a job. Reality checks can be hard to listen to, especially when they come from a nearly yelling and clearly irate Dr. Phil.
You don't sit around watching Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian or Dr. Phil on television and tell yourself that's a life education. Get a job.
Number 7, you don't put words in my mouth.
I have no reason whatsoever to believe that she's having sex with anyone.
Don't sound like it.
In this episode, Phil sits down with couple Paul in Alaska. Alaska has a cuddling business and uses provocative photos to market herself. This has led Paul to worry about her sexual behavior and personal safety. While defending herself, Alaska states that Phil has been insinuating various insulting ideas throughout the interview. In her mind, she thinks Phil believes that she sleeps with the men she meets. Of course, this sets Phil right off.
You're supposed to be helping, not making me angry.
No, well, look at me. Look at me. You don't put words in my mouth, and I'm telling you, I
never said you called me that. I said you're doing innuendos and making it seem like it.
He tells Alaska that she shouldn't put words in his mouth before looking her dead in the eyes and stating that he isn't afraid of her. That one woman's "oh damn" expression pretty much sums it up. Number 6, you are committing a crime. Phil has a short leash when it comes to the mistreatment of children. That is on full display in this dramatic episode that culminates in Phil accusing Kaylee of a crime.
When a child is a certain age, they don't have the capacity to give consent.
Kaylee is a dominatrix who gives her 14-year-old daughter alcohol and marijuana and allows her teen to have sex. Phil begins Kaylee's roast rather politely, saying that teenagers cannot give consent under the law and that adults need to monitor their behavior.
You can roll your eyes and you can be sarcastic all you want. You are committing a crime.
Amen.
However, that was just a prelude to the main event, while Phil tells Kaylee about 20 times that she is committing a crime by giving her daughter drugs and permitting her to be physically intimate with other people. Phil is less mad and more dumbfounded over the whole situation, and that makes his reaction all the more entertaining.
Do you not understand that by statute is a crime?
Okay.
Number 5, let me please have an intelligent conversation. Many of the previous entries showed a frustrated Dr. Phil. Here, he is positively irate, and it is oh so satisfying.
Let me please have an intelligent conversation without you two bickering back and forth, because I don't want to hear it.
First, he shows frustration with an interjection saying, "Let me please have an intelligent conversation." And when the guest ignores Phil and begins bickering, he simply sits back and folds his arms, like an ignored and irritated parent.
Go ahead, y'all don't need me for this. You can do this in the parking lot.
But before the woman can finish, Phil interrupts and goes off about his guest's children, which culminates in him telling her to shut up. Here we see all the telltale signs of seething anger: insults, folded arms, interruptions, yelling, sarcastic rhetorical questions, and exasperated hand gestures.
My dad used to tell me never pass up a good chance to shut up.
The man is absolutely fuming, and it is terrifying.
Boom. Roasted.
Number 4, kicking off Bum Fights producer. For those who are unaware, Bum Fights was a film that saw homeless people performing amateur stunts for small amounts of money or alcohol. The video was enormously controversial and has even been banned in various countries. A man who bought the film rights, known as the alias Ty Beeson, appeared on Dr. Phil hilariously dressed as Dr. Phil. However, his appearance lasted for less than a minute before he was kicked off.
Stop the tape. I don't want to talk to you.
Why not?
That's despicable. I don't want to talk to you. You can go.
Phil stated that he didn't want to talk to Ty and promptly had him escorted off the stage by security. This is worse than yelling. This is like when your parents say they're disappointed and refuse to speak to you. In a way, we don't think we've ever seen Phil so angry.
If you think I exploit people, every time you bring a guest on this show, you exploit them and spread whatever problems they have to the whole world. You think that's helping them?
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. You can go.
Number 3, sexy vegan.
I am the beautiful vegan messiah.
Sexy Vegan has earned his place in the Dr. Phil Hall of Fame thanks to his eccentric physical appearance and reckless antics. And in this particular episode, his antics are on full display. He sings a little theme song, brags about his sexiness, and moonwalks down the aisle before calling his mother an ugly piece of effing shit. Suffice it to say, that was the last straw for Phil.
Hey, look at me.
Let's
look
see
at
your
me.
talent.
No, hey. No, you need to look at me.
I don't have to do.
Okay, take him out.
He forcefully tells Sexy Vegan to stop and actually gives him a chance to listen before kicking him out and apologizing to his audience.
That is childish and immature behavior, and
Now I get to leave.
yes, you do.
Phil has some mad patience, so to see him kicking someone out over their toxic behavior truly says a lot about his and Sexy Vegan's tumultuous relationship.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Number 2, are you kidding me?
You should be punched in the face for how you acted.
In this episode, Phil shows a troubling clip of 3 adults bickering at a Little League baseball practice. The adults can be heard calling each other crazy and insulting each other's hair colors and outfits. One even says that the other should be punched in the face. Phil in turn brings up the out-of-frame children and literally shakes with anger when screaming,
Are you kidding me?
After some much-deserved roasting, it all ends with a very exasperated Phil leaning back in his chair and saying,
Come on.
If it wasn't clear already, Phil really hates it when children are involved in adult immaturity and stupidity. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Seeing a black person is like going to the zoo. You only want to go there a few times, but if you go there all the time, you know everything that goes on.
That's like a tired record. You only have about 6 things you say.
Free will.
No.
So I'm sorry.
I may have came here free will, but I didn't come here so that you all could put my personal information on the internet. This was for him, not for you.
You need to stop.
I don't know what else to do. I just want help now.
Okay, hold on. Stop. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You are being inappropriate, and I am not going to have you here mocking this situation, so I'm going to have to ask you to sit in the chair right down there where he came from.
Number 1, kicking out an internet stalker. This is a legendary episode of Dr. Phil, and it comes with one of the best Phil reactions of all time.
It's the love story of the century, but you've never physically met.
No, sir.
The guest is Bailey, a young adult who liked a stranger's tweet and promptly fell in love. Bailey sent the woman thousands of messages declaring her love, even though they had never even met.
You can all laugh at me, it's
Well,
fine.
you know what? I think we're just going to shut this down because I'm not into all this melodrama and you playing the victim and everything.
After Bailey plays a victim, Phil quickly shuts the entire interview down, saying that he's not interested in the melodrama and manipulation. Now think about that. Phil was so incensed at Bailey's behavior that he refused to listen or help, despite claims of wanting to do so, and just kicked her off instead. Sure, he never raised his voice, but actions speak a heck of a lot louder than words.
You're very manipulative, and I'm not interested in all of that. So I'm going to let Bailey move on.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.